Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's great to have you. And we have a very special person, just won a tremendous election in a record-setting fashion. So you have something in common. And I was very proud and honored to endorse the Prime Minister because of the fact that I felt she was really good. I thought she did a fantastic job. I respect her a lot, so I gave her an endorsement. And she had the most successful election, in my opinion, in the history of Japan, won by the most ever. So we have a very popular, powerful woman, and she's a great woman. We have a very fine relationship, and we're going to be talking about trade and many other things. And it's an honor to have you. Thank you very much. Thank you very
皆様あ
much.
りがとうございます。本日は非常に特別な方にいらしていただいております。歴史的な選挙の圧勝ということで、私たちを通するものがあると思います。私たちは素晴らしい絆を持っておりまして、だからこそ私の方からも応援のメッセージを出させていただきました。素晴らしい人であり、私の心から尊敬している方です。日本の歴史上、最も素晴らしい選挙で圧勝したということで、人気の高い女性であり、すごい方だと私も思っております。本日に関しては、貿易、その他の課題について多く話をする予定です。
Thank you, Donald, for inviting me to the White House today.
Thank you.
So, my visit is timely. So, given the current situation.
Please.
Thank you, Donald, for inviting me to the White House today.
Thank you.
So, my visit is timely. So, given the current situation. So,
Oh, please, yes,
okay,
absolutely. You have a very good interpreter.
Yeah.
Who I've known
Your
for,
friend.
who I've known
Your
for a long
friend.
time,
I
with,
know, I
with
know.
Shinzo.
Your
right?
friend. 今中東情勢も含めて、それから世界中の安全保障環境が非常に厳しい状況にあります。
Right now, situations in the Middle East and also the entire world, we are actually experiencing a very severe security environment.
そして世界経済もかなり厳しい影響を受けつつあります。
And also the global economy is now about to experience a huge hit because of this development.
でも私は世界の繁栄とそして平和に貢献で
0804 on the UK time. Now, what we're about to witness is a momentum or a momental moment. What we have here is Japan's Prime Minister. And yes, she's a woman. A dignified woman, to say the least. We're gonna check her credentials. We're gonna watch this first. But I feel Trump has disrespected her at the Oval Office. And it's not the first time. And what I found more troubling was the way the crowd or the dignified people in the room started to laugh when Trump makes a comment about Pearl Harbor. Now, what happened at Pearl Harbor was not a joke. Far from a joke. Far from a joke. The Japanese people are the only people on this planet that have been bombed with nuclear. America bombed Japan into submission. Now, this was after an attack, a kamikaze attack, right? Where pilots deliberately flew their planes into an American base that was in the Pacific. This changed everything about how the world would view America and would view Japan. Germany suffered great losses. Some may say it was a war crime committed, like the bombing of Dresden. The great city Dresden, mostly built of wood, burnt down to a cinder. It's fair to say the UK were largely responsible for the total destruction, the carpet bombing of Dresden. Now, the reason why I mention Germany in coordination with Japan is that both those countries are even here today, are here today, as in existence. So they suffered immense damage during the Second World War. Some may say rightfully so. Let's not forget Japan had joined Germany in the war. There was an axis, as they say, of evil. Russia being one, Japan and Germany. But both of those countries made a remarkable turnaround in history, building back their countries back up and becoming world leaders in their own right. I mean, Japan are the leaders in technology. In technology. The Germans, leaders in engineering. Engineering, yeah. Yeah, engineering, yes. You may find yourself driving a German automobile. Very similar people, I would have said, as in discipline. They're very disciplined people. So for me to joke about that situation is absolutely wrong. It's wrong. For all the servicemen that perished in the attack, and the retaliation. I don't know if you've ever seen some of the pictures of what happened to the Japanese people. Do not quote me on the numbers, but would it be around maybe say 200,000 people just perished, maybe within like 20 seconds, maybe after the bomb was let off? The reports of seeing a bright light followed by your skin burning off to the bone, incinerated basically within seconds. Also, the push for nuclear power was caused by that action. Country decided they did not want to suffer what Japan suffered. And we are in a similar situation at the moment, where America are in a territory that's not their own. They're far from home, and they could get blown. Aircraft carriers stationed near Iran. This could happen again. This type of attack could happen again. So would we be in a situation where the retaliation would be the same in the Middle East. Now, Japan is an island, so there is some containing of an explosion. I'm not sure if certain areas have really recovered from the effects of the nuclear bomb. So to joke about such a pivotal moment in world history, for me, shows a lack of seriousness from the president. It's like a locker room joking, you know? You leave that to the locker room. We're on the world stage. And again, this dignified woman we have here is another great moment in history on the world stage, as in that a woman has taken the job as a Prime Minister of Japan. I feel she deserved a lot more respect, especially as the president is now asking for help for countries to help with the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran have decided to close down the Strait of Hormuz. And after being attacked, are now retaliating by attacking vessels or threatening to attack vessels in this area. And here we have President Trump hosting the Japanese Prime Minister, a people that the Americans have used nuclear bombs on. And he decides to joke about Pearl Harbor. I find it very distasteful and a lack of respect for a great woman that we're witnessing here. A great woman to make it to the top of Japanese politics. For any woman in Japan to make it to the top like that is extraordinary. Extraordinary. And then this kind of jeering as well. I find it another awful moment that we're witnessing. And I find in walks of life, I always find people joking. When people joke about war, make lightly of other people's hardship, you tend to find a lot of people that joke about these situations have never been to war themselves, or never will, or never have. Now, this affects everything especially economy wise, cost of living wise. This is a moment where we needs to be traversed very carefully, very carefully. And I find Trump just seems to be just joking his way through a very serious moment, which affects every person on this planet when it comes to oil and gas. The threat of escalation is very real. Now we may spend our time looking at entertainment. We may find ourselves not worrying about this situation. But over here, we take these things very seriously, especially when we talk about things like Pearl Harbor. Especially Pearl Harbor. This could happen again. The aircraft carrier is just sitting there like a lame duck. No one else wants to be in that position. No one else wants to send their ships down there to just to be a target. So joking around and disrespecting, you know, the Japanese Prime Minister. I mean, the fact that she's there is kind of a contradiction. I mean, of all countries, you would have thought would never come together again after what happened. So it shows a lack of understanding, a lack of empathy. So again, we'll have to look at the body language of the Japanese Prime Minister. Now, why I paused? For me, Trump has a problem with women. He has no respect for women. He has no respect for other people. He feels as if he's the big man, you know, which he certainly is the big man as being the president of America. There is definitely somewhat bigness with this title. But at this moment in time, he's really going to be looked at as a complete joke when it comes to diplomacy. And I really thought he would have, with all his communication skills, I really thought he was more intelligent on how to deal with people. But it seems as if Trump has a spirit in him that he can't shake off. And also these Epstein files definitely needs to be kept away from public scrutiny, because we will find the same behavior of dealing with women. So he's already made a mistake here by interrupting the Japanese Prime Minister. And let's see how she deals with men like this. This is nothing new to her. I think when the Japanese businessmen go out and say you have a woman on the same sort of ranks, she would be like the tea lady. Like the tea lady. Go and get her some tea, please, love. Milk. 2 sugars. And this woman said, no. Go and get your own tea. You know, you could imagine to stand up to she's done great things, this woman. She's really broken barriers, and I can't see where Trump has done the same or in any way can match the credentials of this woman that he's sitting beside. In no way, in no such form. Let's have a listen.
できる、世界中に、平和と繁栄をもたらせるのはドナルドだけだと思っています。
But even against that backdrop, I firmly believe that it is only you, Donald, who can achieve peace across the world.
でそのために私は、諸外国に働きかけて、しっかりと応援をしたいと思っています。
And to do so, I am ready to reach out to many of the partners in the international community to achieve our objective together.
今日私はそれを伝えに来ました。
So today, I came here at the White House to directly convey this message to you.
Need anything from Tesco?
Snacks and milk, love.
Can I get £2.50 cinema tickets on Tuesdays?
We know you need more than just groceries from us. We do all this because every little helps.
Need anything from Tesco?
Snacks and milk, love.
Can I get £2.50 cinema tickets on Tuesdays?
We know you need more than just groceries from us. We do all this because every little helps.
そしてイランに関してはもう核兵器の開発、これは許されてはならないことですから日本も働きかけをしてきました。
And speaking of the situation in Iran, Iran's development of nuclear weapons must never be allowed. And that is why we, Japan, have been urging them and also reaching out to other partners in the world.
そして我が国は周辺国に対する攻撃、ホルムズ海峡の実質的な閉鎖についてもこれは非難をし、そしてモンテギ外務大臣からもイランの外務大臣に対してそれをやめるように申し入れをしてきました。
In addition, Japan condemns Iran's actions such as attacking the neighboring region and also the de facto or effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. As a matter of fact, my fellow minister, Minister Motegi, Foreign Minister Motegi, also had a direct exchange with the Iranian foreign minister and urge Iran to stop such activities.
で
Yeah, you'll let me know. You'll let me know.
それでとにかく今、中東だけじゃなくてインド太平洋の安全保障環境も大変厳しい中にあります。そんな中でドナルドが日本に深い信頼を寄せてくれて、で揺るぎない同盟にコミットメントしてくれていることに感謝をいたしております。
And also the security environment in the Indo-Pacific region is also becoming increasingly severe. Donald, you have shown deep trust in Japan and also the unwavering commitment to the Japan-US alliance. Once again, thank you very much for that.
で今日は日本とアメリカが共に強く豊かになっていくための話し合いをしたいと思っています。
And today, I look forward to having a discussion on how we can cooperate to make our two nations, both Japan and the United States, stronger and more prosperous.
それから世界のエネルギーマーケットを落ち着かせるための提案も持ってまいりました。
And I also brought specific proposals to calm down the global energy market.
でこの後主に、経済安全保障、重要鉱物ですがエネルギーに関する協力、そしてお互いに強い経済を作るための、成長のための話し合い、経済成長のための話し合いをしたいと思っています。Thank you, Donald.
So today, I really look forward to having our discussion, particularly focusing on our collaboration in economic security in the important areas such as energy and rare earth minerals. And also, I look forward to discussing with you how we can make our two economies stronger moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and you're doing a great job. Again, congrats.
So she's looking the man straight in the eye. Very serious moment. She's pleading with the president to think of peace. Remember our situation that we had in the past. And to make him understand that this is causing a worldwide effect, as in shock to the markets, the rise in price of fuel, especially Japan, which needs fuel. And directly get their fuel from Iran. That's one of the things that Japan lacks is that form of natural resource. So they're in need of that. And also the destabilization of the world economy. Now things are hard and are about to get a lot harder. With the conflict that has been started in Iran. So as an opening statement, I am very proud of what she said there. And let's see how Trump responds.
Congratulations on the biggest win in the history of Japan. That's not bad. That's a pretty long history. That's a large nation with with a great a great reputation, but it's a tremendous victory. Congratulations to everybody. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. We become friends, and I'm very proud of the job you've done. It's not easy. Any questions, please?
Sir, Mr. President, are you fully satisfied with the level of support that you're getting from Japan on Iran, including around the minesweepers?
Well, we're going to be speaking about it today. Go ahead, you can go.
日本から、平井邸などの支援に関して、その点について今の状況に満足していらっしゃいますか？
We're going to be speaking about it today. We've had tremendous support and relationship with Japan on everything. And I believe that based on statements that were given to us yesterday, the day before yesterday, having to do with Japan, they are really stepping up to the plate. Yes.
で非常に日本の方から素晴らしい支援を受けていると思います。おとといのコメントから、日本からはそれに対して非常に力強いメッセージを得ていると私は思っています。
Unlike NATO.
NATO とは全く違いますね。
Please.
Mr. President, do you intend to potentially put U.S. troops or more troops in the region?
No, I'm not putting troops anywhere. If I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you. But I'm not putting troops, and we will do whatever is necessary to keep the price as low. I actually thought when I did this, look, the Dow just hit 50,000 a couple of weeks ago. They said that couldn't happen for 4 years. It wouldn't happen in my term. It's such an outrageous thing because I said it would happen. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast, but it just hit 50,000. And we did that in 1 year, not 4. S&P had just hit 7,000. They said that was even more impossible than the Dow hitting 50. And we did that in 1 year. So it was all done. Everything was going great. The economy was great. Oil prices were very low. Gasoline was dropping to, I mean, we had $1.99, $1.85. We had great everything.
Everyone has dreams, but what seems impossible at first could soon become a reality. Is it time to take your leap? We're ready when you are. 14 million customers trust Lloyds with their aspirations. Bank on Lloyds.
And I saw what was happening in Iran, and I said, I hate to make this excursion, but we're going to have to do it. And I actually thought the numbers would be worse. I thought that it would go up more than it did. But we're doing this excursion, and when it's completed, we're going to have a much safer world. And the Prime Minister agrees with me in this. She considers it to be terrible what Iran did. I think every country does, just about every country does. Iran is a serious threat to the world, to the Middle East and to the world. And everybody agrees with me. I think virtually every country agrees with me on that. So I wanted to put out that fire. And I said, you know, if I do that, oil prices will go up, the economy will go down a little bit. I thought it would be worse, much worse, actually. I thought there was a chance it could be much worse. It's not bad, and it's going to be over with pretty soon. We've obliterated their Navy. We've obliterated their, just about everything there is to obliterate, including leadership. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft equipment is gone. We're flying wherever we want, Pete. We have nobody even shooting at us. They have, I mean, and as you know, their leadership is gone. Their leaders are gone. They pick new leaders, they're gone. They pick new leaders, they're gone. And now they're looking for new leaders again. We can take out the island if anytime we want. I call it the little oil island that sits there, so totally unprotected. And we've taken out everything but the pipes. We left the pipes because to rebuild the pipes would take years for them to do. But we are, I would say, we are substantially ahead of schedule. And I had to do this. I call it an excursion. I had to take this little excursion and do something that no other president had the courage to do. And everybody wanted to do it, but they never had the courage to do. And I don't blame them. I'm not blaming them. It was left to me, and we've done a great job. Our military is incredible. We have an incredible military. We have the strongest military in the world by far. We have the greatest equipment in the world by far. In fact, Japan buys our equipment, buys a lot of it, and we're honored by that. And that's one of the things we'll be talking. They want to buy a lot of the military equipment. So it's just an honor to have the Prime Minister. We've had a tremendous relationship. Okay.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
I think she's going to have to go first before you. Is that okay? Do you understand? It's very good. I'll tell you. I mean, it's so nice that we don't have to sit. No, it's very good. I haven't picked up your language, so the next time you come, I'll have your language mastered. All right, go ahead.
The war is almost over. Why is the Pentagon going to ask Congress for an additional $200 billion?
Well, we're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran. When this is a very volatile world, and the military equipment, the power of some of this weaponry is unthinkable. You don't even want to know about it. Oh, you could end this thing in 2 seconds if you wanted to, but we are being very judicious. But we want to do. Don't forget, Biden gave away. I rebuilt the military in my first term. Biden gave away so stupidly to Afghanistan a lot. He didn't want to move it. He was too lazy, too stupid to move it. But it was a very small amount. It was a lot, but it was very small relative to what I purchased and what I built. We want to have vast amounts of ammunition, which we have right now. We have a lot of ammunition, but it was taken down by giving so much to Ukraine. They gave so much. Biden gave $350 billion worth of cash and military equipment to Ukraine, and he didn't rebuild anything. Fortunately, we have a lot. We have a tremendous, unlimited supply of what you'd call middle and upper middle armaments and military equipment, munitions, armaments, but munitions in particular. At the high end, we have a lot, but we're preserving it. We don't really need it, but we're building. Our manufacturers of military equipment are building at a level they've never seen before. They've never done before. Pete's in charge of it with all of us, really. But Pete's been very, very strong on it. The general and Pete, myself, the whole group. And Raytheon is building 4 factories. Lockheed is building 5 or 6 factories, and they're building them fast because we had a very tough meeting with them. They were going out and buying back stock for $51 billion in one case. They spent $51 billion buying back stock. Now they're not allowed to do that. And they are now building a tremendous, there's never been anything like it, what's taking place right now. So we're in very good shape, but we want to be in the best shape we've ever been in. We were that, when I rebuilt the military, we were in great shape, and then Biden blew it, and he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
Welcome back to the Saffron and Ginger Norwich, where Steve is limbering up. Oh, what's this? Looks like he's decided to sit this one out. Good lad. He's made another big call. Chips, not rice. Interesting. Sometimes it's important to take a break. We're here for safer gambling. Coral.
And if you listen to the Democrats, they don't even want to have a military. Now you see how important it is.
The warfare at the moment has changed dramatically. Now we can take as an example what's happening in Ukraine with the use of drones, with the use of drones. Ukraine are having somewhat some success with the use of drones. They will be and are the world leading experts in the use of drone technology. So what you have is a cheaper form of an attack. So as we heard the president say, he's talking in the billions, where the Ukraine are dealing in the thousands. Now, not everything Trump says is incorrect. Is incorrect. Regarding Biden, Afghanistan was a terrible failure. Excuse me. And the pumping of money into Ukraine, and where's all those billions gone? It just seems to have disappeared into thin air. That's for another conversation. But he's admitted that war is costly. War is costly. So the ones that are paying for the war are the American people, the taxpayers. So he's admittedly said that money is now being used to ramp up the war effect, ramp up the war, yeah? In what he calls an excursion. For me, when I hear excursion, it's like a holiday. Well, this is far from holiday. This is more the holiday in hell. So Iran are saying, well, you're spending all this money on new armaments, and all we have to do is put our money into drones, which the Iranians are also one of the suppliers of drones to Russia. And so they know a fair bit about drones. So the theatre of war is no longer a thing where you can bomb someone into submission. You will bomb and cause vast destruction. But but the Iranians only need to use a few drones, and if we compare the amount of bombs that have been dropped to the amount of drones that have been used and the effects, the Iranians are winning. The Iranians are now in a position where they are affecting the world economy. Okay. Now you may take out 1,000 Iranians, but they only need to take out one American for them to for them to claim a victory. You see, they don't need huge amounts of bodies to be piled up to make a statement. So yes, Iran is a threat and has always been a threat. In some shape or some form. A threat to America in some shape and some form. But I can't see America actually winning this war at this moment in time. And to escalate it from a losing position, I don't think they're going to get what they're looking for, as in regime change. The Pandora's box has been opened now. The lid has cracked open, and we're trying to shut the lid, because if it opens fully, it's just going to be absolute carnage. So we have Trump here admitting about how much finance is going to have to go into this war. So it's fair to say that America could be bankrupt by this excursion. And this is Iran. And remember, other players are quite happy to watch America use up their bombs, sit back and watch how they perform in war, sit back and take notes. So the cards are back to front. Everyone can see the cards. Everyone can see what's going on, and will duly be taking notes. So there's a lot of things going wrong with this excursion, as Trump would like to put it. And for me, it's becoming a massive failure. You know, people are feeling it in the pocket. You know, we have people working in the UK and have to be visiting the food banks. And here we are using finances to finance a war, which some may say needed to happen. But in what way? In what way? How do you go to war now, this day and age? And you know, it's all to do with the drones. It's all to do with the drones. So I don't think that's money well spent. And let's continue with the video.
But we have the strongest military in the world. We have the best equipment. We make by far the best equipment. The other night, they had 114 rockets shot at a certain location. And out of 100 highly sophisticated rockets, out of 114 sophisticated rockets, every single one of them was shot down with our equipment. All our equipment. It's amazing, actually, how good it is. So we want to be sure, and it's a small price to pay to make sure that we stay tippy top.
Mr. President, you said. Mr. President, the Treasury Secretary this morning said there were defections among Iranian leadership. Are you aware of that? And is there anybody the U.S. can work with as a leader going forward?
Well, we have a man named the Treasury Secretary here, so maybe he wants to discuss it. Does anybody know? Do you know who he is? Central Casting.
Yeah, so Ed, we are seeing the defections at all levels as they're starting to sense what's going on with the regime. It doesn't get reported here in the U.S. very well, but you know we are trouncing them from the air, and the regime will probably collapse within itself. At Treasury, we've seen where they've wired their money out of the country. We're coming for that. We're going to get it back to the Iranian people.
Are you seeing defections?
Israel.
There's a lot of military defections also. You have a lot of military defections in Iran. I don't blame them.
Thank you, Mr. President. Have you talked to Prime Minister Netanyahu about attacking the oil and gas fields?
Yeah, I did. I told him, don't do that. And he won't do that. We didn't discuss. You know, we do, we're independent, we get along great. It's coordinated, but on occasion he'll do something, and if I don't like it, and so we're not doing that anymore.
And the last one, if I could, the Fed chairman told me yesterday that he plans to stay until a new Fed chairman is confirmed. And he also plans to stay on the board until the investigation into the Federal Reserve is done.
Well, he's under investigation because he's building a building for hundreds of billions of dollars more than it's supposed to cost. The building you see over there is under budget and ahead of schedule. That's the ballroom. The ballroom is a much bigger building. It's a much more complex building than what he's doing, and it's at a fraction of the cost. Something is going on, whether it's contractors. That's what I do best in the world. I build great buildings. I've always done it, and I build them under budget and ahead of schedule. They could have $4 billion. This is a renovation job.
You need anything from Tesco?
Snacks and milk, love.
Can I get £2.50 cinema tickets on Tuesdays?
We know you need more than just groceries from us. We do all this because every little helps.
Need anything from Tesco?
Snacks and milk, love.
The biggest free from range of any supermarket owned brand?
We know you need more than just groceries from us. We do all this because every little helps.
For $4 billion. And if you look at the building, it's not even, I don't know if Kevin Warsh is ever going to be able to move into it. It's been under construction for years. It's the most expensive building ever built. Now, I know it's gross incompetent because I happen to think he's grossly incompetent. Today, certainly.
We're supposed to be talking about Iran, you know. We've got an opportunity to hear from the Japanese Prime Minister, and we cannot hear from her. We're not even seeing her in the camera frame. We're talking about a ballroom. You know, again, talking about money being used for things that really don't matter. I mean, I'm sure it would be a great thing to happen, but at this precise time, we want to know what's going to happen in Iran. What's happening? What are you doing? That's what we want to talk about. You know, and we want to hear from the Japanese Prime Minister, the first woman, the first woman to be elected. Okay, Japanese PM. It's Sanai Takashi, right? Sanai Takashi, right? So this is the wonderful Sanai Takashi, yeah. So we want to be talking about what's happening with Japan concerning their input into this war. Okay, we're talking about the ballroom. You know, we're talking about the ballroom. No, we want to be talking about what's going on in Iran, Mr. Trump.
You should be lowering interest rates. All right, certainly, who would not lower them? But he's stubborn and he's got Trump derangement syndrome. But a lot of people have that. You know, it's not a curable disease. But he's also building. He should be lowering rates immediately. But he won't do that because he's a stubborn, incompetent person. And that's a bad thing. You know, when you're stubborn and incompetent, I think it's the worst combination. And he's also not a smart person. But he's building a complex over there that's under his jurisdiction. He started it, and it's out of control. It's billions of dollars for a little building. I could have done that building and made it beautiful for $25 million. $25 million, and it would have been beautiful. Look what I've done at the White House, fixing it up. And I mean, the place was in bad shape. You see the floors and everything. It was in bad shape. I could have made that building beautiful for $25 million. They're spending $4 billion. All right. So there is criminality. Maybe it's with the contractor, but because I know more about contractors than any human being maybe that's ever lived. But that contractor is a very rich man. Whoever the contractor is, and we know, but whoever the contractor is an extremely rich man. He's going to make, I mean, he could make millions of dollars. I'm hearing numbers from $3 to $4 billion. That would make it the most expensive building on a square foot basis ever built in history. And you're not even building a building, it's a renovation. The exterior skin is staying, the steel is staying, the structure. So all I want to do is bring out to the public that this guy is an incompetent. He's a very incompetent guy. And he may be a dishonest guy, but somebody's dishonest because there's no way that building could be $3 to $4 billion.
Mr. President, on a straight up
Thank you.
Please.
Mr. President, you just mentioned Japan.
This looks like one of your people. Right here.
Thank you.
Is he good or bad? Good. Is he a good reporter or bad? You know?
So.
Not a, all right, looks like a nice guy. Go ahead.
Mr. President, you just mentioned Japan is stepping up.
Saffron and Ginger Norwich, a hallowed ground. We joined Steve mid-game. Just look at that technique. Pure class.
What kind of the support do you expect from Japan in the future?
Look, I expect Japan to step up because, we have that kind of relationship, and we step up with Japan. We have 45,000 soldiers in Japan. We spend a lot of money on Japan, and we've had that kind of a relationship. So I'm not surprised that they would step up. We don't need much. We don't need anything. I mean, honestly, we don't need anything from Japan or from anyone else, but I think it's appropriate that people step up. In the case of Japan, I hear they get more than 90% of their oil through the strait. So that's a big reason to step up. I mean, we've demolished, that country is close to demolished. The only thing is the strait. It's very hard. You could take two people and they could drop little bombs in the water and they're holding things up. We don't want that to happen. But honestly, Japan, China, Europe, parts of Europe get a lot of their oil through the strait. We get none practically. We're less than 1%. We don't have to be any percent. We don't even, I think we do it just to be nice. But we think of it, we don't use the strait. We're defending the strait for everybody else. And then in the case of NATO, they don't want to help us defend the strait, and they're the ones that need it. But now they're getting much nicer because they're seeing my attitude. They're getting much nicer. But it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's too late. UK wants to send aircraft carriers now. And I said, I want the aircraft carriers before the war. I don't want them after the war is won. They want to send me aircraft carriers after the war. There's practically nobody to shoot at them. Their missile count is down, Pete. Maybe you could discuss it by about 90-something%. The drones are way down, and the factories are being demolished. Maybe.
Yes, sir. Our missiles being shot are down over 90% since the beginning. One-way attack drones down 90% since the beginning, which is a reflection of overwhelming firepower. But you mentioned the most important part, Mr. President. Their defense industrial base. If you can't make more of it in the future, then you have a limited supply. And so we're going after all of their defense contractors that make all of their exquisite weapons and ensuring that even if they wanted to rebuild more launchers or more missiles, they couldn't in the future. And that's a level of devastation for their military that they've never seen before.
So we have, in literally 2 weeks, we've demolished their Navy, their Air Force. All technology is gone. All communication is gone. And all of the leaders are gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well. Okay, how about one more question for the Prime Minister? Let me pick a beautiful person from Japan. A question for the Prime Minister. Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Oh, he doesn't believe he's beautiful.
Oh,
He's sounding shy.
Go ahead. Of course, no, Japan and US are very good friends. But one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very
why didn't he ask NATO and tell everyone about this excursion before going down there and joining Israel with attacking Iran? This is what we want to hear. It's a great question. Now, you're not going to believe what's going to be said, what's coming up, right? Now, the Japanese Prime Minister is really, for me, looking at body language, showing great dignity while listening to the president speak. Trump is looking down, hands together. And, you know, the Japanese Prime Minister is very alert. She knows what's going on. She knows what's at stake. Now, Trump is about to make a comment that I find utterly shocking. And I want you to watch very closely the body language of the Japanese Prime Minister. Sanai Takashi, the most honorable Sanai Takashi, the first woman to become Prime Minister. At this precise time, we are on the brink of World War III, economic catastrophe, serious business. Now, Trump has said some really disgusting things. I mean, he's disrespected the war dead of the UK. I didn't like that at all. And also Zelensky was treated unfairly, I felt, at the Oval Office. And here we are again. He's about to make another comment, so let's hear what he says.
Confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay.
Did you hear the groan? Did you hear that groan? Oh. Are you seeing he's laughing, finding it funny. For me, it's a locker room joke. Yeah, a locker room joke now about Pearl Harbor. And the Japanese Prime Minister visibly shocked. Again, showing great dignity. She could just give him one karate chop across his neck, and finish him one time. She refrains as one should. But I heard the groan. I heard that groan. A groan of distaste. You've now fallen off the hill. You're at the top of the mountain, and before you plant your flag, you slip off the mountain, and people go, oh, the groan. And it was a singular groan as well. But I heard it. Did you hear it yourself? I heard it. So let's see how the rest of the people respond to that comment.
Right? He's asking me, do you believe in surprise I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise them, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right? Okay, one more for the Prime Minister.
Mr. President.
Are you good for the Prime Minister?
Yes, and
Go ahead, for the
you
Prime
too.
Minister.
Thank you very much. Japan's TJ Press. Japan's biggest concern is China. Now they're giving us export control and very harsh terms to criticize us. So could you plan? Will you plan to bring out relationship between Japan and China while you're there?
Yeah, well, I'll be going to China very quickly, but I think I'd really like to have the Prime Minister talk about China because I know they have a little bit of an edgy relationship, and I'd just like to know where it stands, how you're doing with China. So, please.
で、日本はいつも中国に対してオープンです。会話はオープンにしています。それから、冷静に対応しています。で、とにかく米中関係も含めてですね、これが地域の安定、それから世界のサプライチェーン、これに貢献するものであることを願っています。日本は常にオープンです。
So first of all, Japan has been consistently open to dialogue with China. And also, second, we have been addressing our relations with China in a calm manner. And also speaking of the US-China relationship, my sincere hope is that the relationship will be something conducive for regional security and also ensuring the global supply chain in the world.
Now, I mean, after listening to what Trump said, I mean, I have nothing but respect for what this woman, and she's gone back to the most important part of this whole discussion. You can see Trump. You see, he's been defeated here again. You see, on the diplomatic stage, she's come back with what's really important, right? Talking about the relationship between China and Japan. I mean, honestly, you can't joke about these things. I mean, you had the situation in, is it Nanjing, right? The rifle butting of the poor yellow man, which has been said. You know, very, very horrible times in history. Japan and China, when Japan invaded China. And again, Takashi is just nothing but brilliant. By what has come out of her mouth, she's trying to solve what has become a huge error in global terms. Iran is no longer the aggressor. America has become the aggressor. Also, Israel are the aggressors. And have caused worldwide turmoil. Worldwide turmoil. And her position is to quell this turmoil, put an end to this, get back to diplomacy, because where it's heading could well be another Pearl Harbor incident, which effectively destroys America's dream of being the leading world force and hands it on a plate to China. Hands it on a plate. Very serious times. And I think she may have said she made three interventions here. Right? So this went on for near enough half an hour. So she's spoken 3 times, and what she said must be respected, and what you would really want from your leader, your number one. Back to the world economy, back to keeping a great relationship, not starting a war with China, talking about what's happening now in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, I don't understand how Trump feels that America can evade any hardship with economic turmoil. That cannot happen. I mean, you're talking about world trade, you're talking about diplomatic relationships. America going to be affected more than anyone. So I feel the Japanese Prime Minister has done a great job at the Oval Office. Her words have been tremendous. And it's nice to see someone in a position of power using her time wisely to put an end to this conflict, not to fan the flames, to assist America and to assist the world in that peace is the only way for everyone to get where they're going.
Once again, I would like to reiterate that Japan has been consistently open to dialogue with China.
And I think we're going to have a great trip. The trip has been postponed for about a month and a half. It's been reset, and we look forward to it. And I'll be speaking Japan's praises when I'm in China with President Xi. But we're going to have some good talks today. And I think mostly about trade, because they want to do a lot of trade. They're a tremendous purchaser of our energy, our oil, gas from, in particular, Alaska. Because Alaska, believe it or not, is very close. It's much closer than any other source. It's just, it seems a little cold compared to, but it's just a short trip.
So that's something that we will talk after the press
Right.
tour.
We'll be.
There you have it. There you have it. Another failure from Trump here again, I feel, in front of the camera as well. And I think the Prime Minister of Japan done really well here. And she wants to get to business, you know. She wants to talk about real business, you know. She kept looking at her watch, saying, this is just ridiculous what's going on here. You know, come on, you're making a fool of yourself now. You're making a fool, you know. Come on, Donald. Let's get into the room. Let's get away from the cameras, yeah? This is getting ridiculous, right? I'm here to talk business. So that's the end of the show for today. I'll be back in, say, around midday. I'm going to check the news and see what's going on. But I think Trump definitely, again, look utterly stupid in front of the world again. At a time where we needed more intelligence, you know, more intelligence. And I think the Japanese Prime Minister showed great dignity and intelligence in this White House meeting. That's it from me. 0928 on the UK time. JTV. Like, share and subscribe.